Good morning, all. Anyone that is there? I've just remembered I need to fix the lighting so that you can actually see what I'm writing. There's not enough of a point to me attempting to show you how to do the simplest form. That is, I can't quite remember. It was a little while ago now that we did this. So don't worry if you can't remember. That's still a bit funny, isn't it? Can you see me a bit better? A bit better. We'll have to go with that, I'm afraid. It's like being back in the classroom where the sun shines on my desk, isn't it? Get caught by the light. Hope you're all well. Those of you that are here, well, those that aren't here as well, but those that can actually hear me. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're keeping yourself entertained, not doing too much work. We've only got a few more days and we get a half term. Feels a bit funny to have a half term now, doesn't it? Feels like we haven't really been at school anyway, but there we go, we'll take it. Right, wait a little bit more, just in case somebody is on their way trying to navigate around YouTube. They don't make it easy to make a live video, I tell you. You don't know, probably whiz around it though. It's probably more like TikTok. That shall not be named. Right, okay, let's give this a go. So, simplest form is where we are trying to make our fractions smaller, essentially, but they always have to be equivalent. You can't just change it to a 1 and a 2 and hope for the best. They have to be equivalent to what's already there. Okay, so it's quite easy to do, but there are a couple of things to watch out for. So we're going to whiz through them, and I'm not going to waffle too long so the video actually uploads quicker. Miss Calico has prepared her numbers today. I hope you're all impressed. Right, so we're going to look at this one first. So 8/16. So the easiest way to simplify fractions is to halve them until they can no longer be halved. However, this will not always work. Sometimes you'll have odd numerators where you can't halve them, things like that. But if you can halve them, that will get you the answer. Okay, so for example, remember everything you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So half of 8 gives you half of 16, gets you 8. Don't assume that that's it. Don't think you've done it once it's finished. Check, can that go any smaller? Can you halve 4 again? Yes, you can, because it will get you 2/4. Look again, can I halve 2? Yes, that will get you 1/2. Okay, can you half 1? No, you'll be going into decimals and you know we don't have decimals in fractions. So then you have reached the simplest form. It can't go any lower. Okay, a nice trick for half ones is if your numerator is half the size of your denominator, if it's half its value, the simplest form is always going to be 1/2. Okay, so even if you had 35/70ths, we know that 35 is half of 70. So cut all of this out. You don't need to do this. You know it's going to be a half. Okay. Next one. This is to show you that you can't always just rely on halving. So 20/40ths, 2 even numbers, we know we can halve them. Oops, sorry. So half of 20, you're going to get 10. Half of 40, you're going to get 20. Okay. Can we halve 10 again? Yes, we can. So then we're going to go to 5/10. Now we can't halve 5. That does not mean that we've finished. Okay, we can get it smaller. What you now need to look at is if there are any other times tables that these two numbers will go into. Okay, so is 5 and 10 both in the 1 times table? Yes, they are. Are they both in the 2s? No. Are they both in the 3s? No. Are they both in the 4s? No. Are they both in the 5s though? Yes, they are. So do you remember seeing this on the board where I do a long list of ticks and crosses? Think about that. They are both in the 5. So now we need to divide them both by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is going to get you 1. 10 divided by 5 is going to get you 2. Okay? Next one down here, this is where we can't use halving at all. We've got 9/27. You can't half 9. You can't have 4.5 as a numerator. Okay, so now you are just going to rely on your times table method. Okay, you need to check what times tables both of these numbers are in. Now, if you remember, the quickest way to do this is to use the biggest times table that they are in, the highest common factor. Okay, so write out your whole list. So 1. Are they both in the 1s? Yes. Are they both in the 2s? You do that. No. Are they both in the 3s? Are they both in the 3s? Have a look. Think. Yes, they are. Now we found a common factor. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to see if we can find a higher one to make it quicker. Are they both in the 4s? No. 5s? No. 6s? No. 7s? No. 8s? No. 9s? Yes, they are in the 9s. And we know this must be the highest one because it's the value of our numerator. We can't go bigger than the numerator's value. So that's the biggest it can be. But they are both in the 9s. So we're going to use that. So 9 divided by 9 is going to get you 1. I'm going to rub our times tables out so it doesn't look quite so messy. You don't have to. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 27 divided by 9 is going to get you 3. Okay, and then in one jump, the simplest form. Okay, if it doesn't get you the simplest form, do what we've done up here. Just divide it again. Okay. Right, and then here on the bottom, this is to show you that quite often, if you get big numbers like this, look at the numerator first. That might be the highest common factor. Okay, so in this example, we've got 20 over 120. Is 20, if you count in 20s, will you get to 120? Yes, you will. So you know that that has to be the highest common factor because you can't go bigger than 20. You can't divide 20 by a bigger number. So it has to be 20. Okay, so that cuts out all of that long list process. You can see that your numerator has to be your highest common factor. So 20 divided by 20, we've got 1. 120 divided by 20, let's just check again. We've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Gets you 6. Okay. If you end up with 1 on the top, that's usually a good hint that you found the lowest form. Okay. Hope that makes sense. There's a few things. Basically, just keep dividing it until they get small. But remember, you have to divide it by the same number. Otherwise, it won't work. Don't just divide by random numbers. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Good luck. I will see you at some point. Well, tomorrow. I'll do another live one tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow, same time, if you need some help. Okay. Bye. Have a fab day.